Well, we have been bombarded with political ads here on TV, billboards, in our yards, in our mailbox, in the newspaper. We hear about campaigns and the candidates all the time, and our little ears are listening as well. So today we want to discuss how to talk to your kids about politics. Tammy Silverman is here from the Indiana Youth Institute, and she joins us live in studio. Thanks so much for coming. We're just talking about, you have a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old, and they're having these questions and concerns about the election right now.
Of course they are, because they hear all the same things that we do, and they just don't know how to process it all yet. So our role as parents and coaches and teachers and grandparents is to help them process what's going on in the media, as well as help them learn about our democracy.
So where do we get started with that conversation?
Well, and it depends on what they ask. You know, a lot of times it's that discussion of you respond to what they ask. Don't bombard them with a lot of information yourself. So when they're little kids, it's really just talking about what does voting mean? What does it look like? Take them to the polls with you. As they get a little older in middle school, they start hearing the issues. They pick up on the idea that education is out there, the economy, you know, maybe terrorism's a concern, and to really follow up and have some deeper discussions.
Well, and the political ads are just so strong in their statements and so attacking. And I have an 11-year-old son that just takes that as just truth. He says, well, you know, he this or she that, you know, as if that's the way that things are. How do you have a discussion about that without maybe showing a preference for a particular candidate or party? Because you do want them really to make their own decisions.
Well, and it's okay for your family. The experts have told us it's okay to share what your perspectives are, your family's perspectives, but also follow up with the why. Maybe in your family, really, military service and veteran services are really important, or the economy, whatever those things are. It's okay to share that, but also, like you said, which is really important, let them come to their own conclusions, because by high school, they start to get their own ideas and their own opinions, and they might be different than their parents, which can be tough for some families to process.
And one thing we hear is that people say, boy, I'm just not 100% behind either candidate that we have for president. Maybe when we're talking about politics, can we move to some other races, perhaps, and show what's going on locally or in the state races?
Absolutely, and that's a great option, because it also gives you that time to talk about your family values and what do we expect in our elected leaders, and to point out some positive examples of that, whether that is on the national level. If not, then go ahead and talk about the state level or local elections, so that our kids understand that it's important to be engaged, whether or not you agree with everything our candidates are saying at the moment.
And why do we want our kids to be engaged? Why is that so key? I mean, that really is the heart of the democracy, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. And it's important that they understand you can respectfully disagree. You can disagree with your parents or your neighbors or teachers, and teach them how to do that in a way that's respectful, and hopefully we can model good behavior for them.
Yes, we agree to disagree, I think. Absolutely. Is the line. All right. Tammy Silverman from the Indiana Youth Institute, thanks so much for joining us today. Keep those conversations coming.